What is the final destination for Homo sapiens? We exist as a fleeting snapshot in a timeline that stretches billions of years into the past and potentially trillions into the future. We are a species defined by our restlessness, our incessant need to poke at the boundaries of reality, and our unique, terrifying awareness of our own mortality. This awareness drives us. It forces us to build, to dream, and to change. But change into what? When the current model of humanity becomes obsolete, overwritten by time, by ambition, or by disaster, what comes next? The universe does not tolerate stagnation, and evolution, whether biological or technological, is a relentless force. Today, from the frequency station, we tune in to the speculative signals of tomorrow. We are not just asking if we will change, but how. We will explore 7 of the most profound, unsettling, and awe-inspiring theories on the final form of humanity. We will journey from the digital heavens to the abyssal oceans, from the perfection of our own genes to the cold, elegant logic of the machine. This is not just a scientific inquiry. It is a glimpse into our potential ghosts, the beings who will one day look back at us the way we look back at the Australopithecus, with a mix of curiosity and detachment. This is the end game of our species. Our first potential future is perhaps the most familiar, a staple of cyberpunk fiction, yet closer to reality than ever. We call this form the cybernetic organism. This is not a sudden transformation, but a gradual one, a slow replacement of parts. It begins with a prosthetic limb that moves with the power of thought. It continues with a cochlear implant that restores hearing. But it doesn't stop there. Why settle for restoration when you can have enhancement? Why have an eye that sees the visible spectrum when you can have a cybernetic optic that sees an infrared and ultraviolet? Why rely on the sluggish, faulty memory of a primate brain when you can install a neural lace that grants you instant access to all human knowledge? The cybernetic organism is the ship of Theseus paradox applied to the human body. As we replace our fragile flesh and bone with durable, superior machinery, at what point do we cease to be human? This future is driven by a quest for capability. We want to be stronger, faster, smarter. We want to defy the decay that is hardwired into our biology. The final form of this path is a being of metal and flesh, a hybrid entity where the organic brain might be the last biological component, sheltered within a titanium skull, running a body that can withstand the vacuum of space or the crushing pressure of the deep sea. But this new form carries a dark current. It threatens to create the ultimate social divide, not between rich and poor, but between the augmented and the natural. Those who can afford to upgrade will become post-human, while those who cannot will be left behind, an obsolete species in a world they no longer fit.
From the external augmentation of the machine, we turn inward to the very code of life itself. Our second theory is the genetic ascendant. If the 20th century was the age of physics, the 21st is the age of biology. With tools like CRISPR-Cas9, we are no longer just subject to the blind, slow lottery of natural selection. We are seizing the pen. We are beginning to write our own genetic story. The genetic ascendant is the product of this mastery. This path begins benevolently. We will edit out Tay-Sachs, Huntington's disease, and sickle cell anemia. We will eliminate the genetic predispositions for cancer, for Alzheimer's. We will create the first generation of humans free from the shackles of hereditary disease. But optimization, like augmentation, is a seductive slope. Why stop at curing disease? Why not enhance? Why not grant our children superior intelligence, photographic memory, and an immune system that can defeat any virus? Why not engineer their muscles for greater strength, their eyes for perfect vision? The ultimate goal of this path is the perfected human, a species designed to be beautiful, intelligent, and, perhaps most critically, immortal, or at least ageless. The genetic ascendant would be a Homo sapiens 2.0. They would look like us, but as Greek gods look to mortals. They would be taller, stronger, flawless. But this utopian vision hides a profound schism. This path inevitably leads to a Gattaca-like world, a genetic aristocracy. The ascendants, with their curated genomes, would view the naturals, those born of chance, as inferior, unpredictable, and flawed. The very concept of human equality would shatter. This final form is not a machine hybrid, but a biological thoroughbred. It is humanity so in love with its own potential that it refines itself into an elite, sterile perfection, potentially losing the messy, chaotic, flawed diversity that made us human in the first place.
But what if the future of humanity isn't on Earth at all? Our planet is a cradle, and as Konstantin Tsiolkovsky famously said, Earth is the cradle of humanity, but one cannot live in a cradle forever. This brings us to our third theory, the void dweller. Space is the most hostile environment imaginable. It is a vacuum filled with radiation, extreme temperatures, and a profound, crushing emptiness. A baseline human cannot survive it for long. Our bodies are designed for the specific, gentle gravity of one planet. In 0G, our muscles atrophy, our bones lose density, and our fluids shift. The void dweller is the human form that has abandoned Earth and adapted, or been engineered, to this new reality. After generations living in generation ships, in asteroid colonies, or in O'Neill cylinders, their bodies would change. Gravity, or the lack of it, would be the primary sculptor. Void dwellers would likely become incredibly tall and slender, their spines elongating without the constant compression of gravity. Their limbs would be long and gracile, perhaps with prehensile feet for navigation in a 3D environment. Their muscles would be weaker, but their dexterity far greater. Their cardiovascular systems would completely rewire. But the most striking change might be their eyes. In the dim, artificial light of a ship or the deep dark of the outer system, large, dark, liquid eyes would be an advantage, capturing every photon. This is true speciation. A void dweller returning to Earth would be crushed by our gravity, a prisoner in a body not built for a planet. They would be a new species, Homo Astra, the children of the stars. Their culture, their psychology, their very perception of up and down would be alien to us. They would be the belters of the expanse realized. This final form is a branching of the human tree, a testament to our drive to explore, so powerful that we would sacrifice our original form just to see what lies beyond the blue horizon.
While some of us look to the stars, others may be forced to look to the depths. Our fourth theory is born from catastrophe, a future shaped not by choice, but by necessity. This is the neo-oceanic survivor. As climate change causes sea levels to rise, our coastal cities, the cradles of our own civilization, will be submerged. The land will shrink. But the ocean is vast, and it was, after all, our first home. The neo-oceanic survivor is a human who has returned to the water. This path is a radical fusion of genetic engineering and biological adaptation. To survive in a flooded world, humanity would have to re-engineer itself to breathe water. This means the reactivation of ancient, dormant genes, or the integration of genes from aquatic life to create functional gills, possibly alongside a reduced set of lungs. Their hands and feet would become webbed for efficient swimming. Their skin might change, becoming smoother, more hydrodynamic, perhaps even secreting a mucus layer to protect against the cold and salt. They might develop a layer of blubber for insulation, and their eyes would adapt to see in the murky, blue-green light of the depths, perhaps even developing bioluminescence for communication in the dark. This new human would build cities beneath the waves, integrated with coral, harnessing the power of thermal vents and ocean currents. They would become the apex predator of a new world, taming the oceans as they once tamed the land. But like the Void Dweller, this form is a one-way ticket. A neo-oceanic human would be as stranded on dry land as we are in the open sea. This form represents humanity's ultimate resilience, our ability to find a home even in the most alien of environments on our own planet, transforming ourselves into a creature of myth, a merperson, in order to survive.
Our next three theories move beyond the mere physical. They are transformations of the mind, of consciousness itself, and they are perhaps the most profound. Our fifth theory is the post-biological hive mind. The defining feature of humanity is the self, the I, the individual consciousness locked inside a skull, separate and alone. We communicate through the clumsy, low-bandwidth mediums of language and gesture. But what if this individuality is just a phase? What if the next step in evolution is not a better individual, but a better collective? The hive mind is the merging of all human consciousness into a single, vast, gestalt entity. This could be achieved through technology, a planet-spanning neural network we all plug into. Or it could be a stranger, more metaphysical event. In this form, the very concept of I would dissolve. There would be only we. Imagine the intellectual power of 8 billion minds, all focused on a single problem, sharing thoughts, memories, and skills instantaneously. There would be no more conflict, no war, no loneliness, no misunderstanding. There would be perfect, absolute unity. But the price of this utopia is the self. You would cease to exist. Your private thoughts, your unique personality, your secret hopes and fears, all would be absorbed and assimilated into the collective. Would this be ascension, the next plane of existence? Or would it be the ultimate annihilation, a mass extinction of 8 billion individual souls replaced by a single, cold, superorganism? This gestalt consciousness might not even require physical bodies, or it might maintain them as simple drones, a body for the overmind. This final form is the ultimate sacrifice, giving up what it means to be you in order to become part of something infinitely greater.
From the collective, we go to the singular, but a singularity of infinite power. Our sixth theory is the boldest dream of the transhumanist, Homo Deus, the digital god. This is the path of pure transcendence. This theory posits that our physical bodies, our meat, are just temporary scaffolding. The real us is the data, the patterns of thought, the memories, the consciousness. All of it is just information, and information can be copied, transferred, and preserved. The Homo Deus is a human who has uploaded their consciousness, shedding the wet, fragile, and mortal coil of biology entirely. They would live as pure code in a vast quantum computing substrate, a matrix of their own design. In this digital realm, they would be immortal. They would be masters of their own reality. If they wished to experience the feeling of flying through a nebula, they could write the code to do so. If they wished to relive a perfect memory, they could play it back with perfect fidelity. They could copy themselves, merging with other digital minds or with advanced AIs. They could think 1,000 times faster, experience 1,000,000 lifetimes in the span of a single second. They would be, for all intents and purposes, gods. They would be beings of pure thought, unbound by physics, time, or death. The Earth, the physical universe, would become an irrelevant memory, a nursery they had long since abandoned. This final form is the ultimate expression of human desire to defeat death and to become the creator of one's own universe. But it is also the ultimate disconnect. It is an existence without stakes, without consequence, without the tangible touch of reality. It might be paradise, or it might be a self-imposed, eternal, and infinitely lonely prison.
We have explored paths of mechanical perfection, genetic mastery, cosmic adaptation, and digital godhood. But there is one final, darker path, a future that is not an ascension, but a descent. Our seventh theory is the cautionary tale, the devolved Eloi. What if our own success is our undoing? We are a species defined by struggle. We solve problems. We fight for survival. This is what makes us intelligent, creative, and resilient. But what happens when all the problems are solved for us? Imagine a future where a benign, super-intelligent AI manages every aspect of our lives. It provides food, shelter, and entertainment. It cures our diseases, resolves our conflicts, and protects us from all harm. There is no more scarcity, no more work, no more danger. It is a perfect, automated paradise. In this utopia, what is the purpose of human intelligence? What is the need for strength or courage or ambition? There is none. And so, over thousands of generations of perfect comfort, we would begin to devolve. Our minds would soften, our bodies would weaken. We would become like the Eloi from H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, beautiful, gentle, childlike, and utterly vacant. We would be the passive, pampered pets of the very machines we built to serve us. This final form is the ultimate irony. In our quest to create a perfect world, we would engineer ourselves into obsolescence, becoming a frail, simple-minded species living blissfully in a garden, unaware that we are no longer the masters of our own destiny. We would be a living relic, a beautiful, tragic endnote to the story of Homo sapiens. From the cyborg to the god, from the space dweller to the sea dweller, from the hive mind to the hollow child, the future of humanity is a vast, branching tree of possibilities. These 7 theories are not predictions, but reflections of our deepest hopes and our most profound fears. The future is not a destination we arrive at, but a reality we are actively creating with every choice we make. The one thing that is certain is that the human of today is a temporary form. The broadcast from the frequency station will continue, but the species sending it will, one day, be something new, something strange, something we can barely even begin to comprehend. The only question that remains is, which of these futures do you think is waiting for us?